Nostalgia is one heck of a drug, is what I always say when it comes to 2K. Prime example, let's say a 2K just dropped. Let's choose 2K17. At that time, if you ask somebody, how do you feel about 2K17? Many of them, and I'm not saying all, but many of them would have said, it's horrible, trash, garbage, terrible game, terrible gameplay, terrible graphics, etc. Now stop. Now let's skip around, let's go 3 years later to 2K20 and ask them that same question. It was the greatest piece of gaming I ever experienced in my life. The greatest thing I ever played, ever. And hey, some people generally feel that way, and they felt that way at the time as well. Some people generally felt that way at the time 2K17 came out and still feel that way those 3 years later. And heck, even now. And I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people who hated on the game at the time its release, and then nostalgia just beat the brakes out of them. And now they view it as one of the greatest 2Ks of all time. Let's choose a different 2K. 2K21? How do y'all feel about 2K21? Me personally, at the time when I had it, I thought it was mid. Now, I was playing 2K21 on the current gen console, or old gen console I mean, and my opinion for that game was it was just mid at best. The way me and my cousin described it, it was kind of boring. Like, it's a basketball game. And many other people had that similar opinion, or also just thought, hey, one of the worst 2Ks. Skip around 4 years later and it's considered the last great 2K. You see where I'm going here with this? One of the games I really want to talk about is NBA2K20, because I've been seeing this game get so much praise lately on TikTok, and even seen some of y'all defending it in one of my last videos. Guys, let's be real. It wasn't a good game. We were at home quarantined. We didn't have anything else to do. I said this at the time I had 2K20, and I'm saying this now. The game wasn't good. We just had friends to make the game fun. If y'all were there at the time for 2K20, y'all remember how amazing the community was. It's probably the peak the community reached. After 2K20, the community for 2K definitely went down, and I feel like that's also one of the main reasons why everyone loves 2K20. This is when the 2K community was at its peak, the peak of its powers. Shout out Ticino, shout out Flight, shout out all of AMP. This was the peak. Shout out Aiden Ross. This was the peak of 2K content. Now, does that make the game good? No. We were quarantined with nothing else to do. Like, I don't think y'all remember how bad 2K20 was when it first released, and that was probably one of the worst video game releases I've ever experienced. The load times were terrible. You couldn't get into games on Playing Out Online. I know people were like, hey, who play Playing Out Online? People were trying to play Playing Out Online, and on first release, you couldn't get into it because it was glitched. There was also a glitch if you open your phone, the game would lag out and freeze, and you had to close applications. I don't know if I remember that, but that definitely happened to me too many times. And yes, those did eventually get patched, but there were so many issues on release that was completely unacceptable. The amount of glitches and bugs that were in 2K20 were absolutely atrocious. Though I can't remember them all, I do remember certain moments that had me raging out of the pure stupidity of this game. And I know what you're thinking, oh, what happens with every 2K? Bro, that doesn't give it a bypassing excuse. It's still unacceptable. It's still a problem. I really want to knock at 2K20 the most, mainly because how much y'all despise this game. I remember the videos and the TikToks of y'all being like 2K20 is the worst 2K, or it's just as worse as 2K18. That was a discussion that was had. Now 5 years later, hey, it was the last great 2K. What even is the last great 2K to y'all? Because at this point, I don't even know. Some say 23, some say 22, 21, 20, or 19. Me personally, I think it's 2K19. I feel like that was an all-around solid game. 20 should not be considered the last great 2K. That should be considered the downfall of 2K itself, honestly. And again, if you did like these games, that's okay, that's completely fine, and I'm not knocking you for that. But for the people who were hating on this game at the time, bro, stand 10 toes down. Y'all let nostalgia beat the everlasting brakes out of y'all. Get up. Another 2K I would love to talk about is 2K17. Cause then y'all go, hey, relax, calm down, hold on, hear me out. Hey, y'all hated this game. I'm just saying, at the time, y'all hated it. I remember the YouTube videos. I watched them. Dang near every last one. Y'all ain't like this game. I read the comment section. Y'all ain't like this game. Cause the way I feel about 2K17 was, yo, at the time, this is when I finally got a PS4. So when I first got 2K17, I was like, hey, I'm just glad I finally got the upgrade. But yo, this game looks ugly. That was like my first thought about this game, like how ugly it looked, and the gameplay was iffy at best. But I kind of let it rock. My overall review for 2K17 is like a solid 5 to 6 out of 10. I know you're thinking that's too low. Hey bro, average at best. It was an average at best game. And also, can we just quickly go back to 2K20? Because I remember we were all upset when we got the neighborhood for the second year in a row, and it was the same neighborhood as 2K19. I remember us being heated about that. Did we forget? And the same goes for 17. Don't know if y'all forget, but 2K16 and 17's park looked exactly the same. It was just nighttime now. Or did we forget? I remember that Paul George loading screen, and y'all look at it now like, that was the time, right? Bro, I was heated that I couldn't get into my virtual basketball game. Like, what other game gets nostalgia points for not being able to play the game? 17 is not close to 16 and 2K11. 17 is more closer to 2K20 and 21, in my personal opinion. 2K20 isn't the last great 2K. 2K20 is the downfall itself of 2K. This is when we realize, wow, microtransactions in this game is getting crazy. Wow, the My Team is starting to become like gambling. Wow, there's many issues and bugs in this game that they're not fixing. That's what 2K20 was. 2K19's dribbling was free-flowing, creative, and can do so much. 2K20's felt dang near bare bone, and everybody has to basically dribble the same. And I know you remember those two-way slashers. One of the reasons why 2K is so bad now is because y'all don't know what y'all want anymore. Y'all say y'all want insert one nostalgia thing from an old 2K game, and they put it in, and then y'all realize, it wasn't really all that. Yeah, really, who would have known? Like, I don't think you understand, if they just took the park and just kept it in 2K25 all year round, nothing much changes that much. Can we be real? Can we keep it a stack? And I know this sounds like a hot take, and I said this in the video before, if they one random day open back up like 2K20's servers, right? We're all gonna play it out of nostalgia and then slowly realize, hold on, this game's kind of trash. And I'm gonna look at y'all like, really? Who would have known? This is so annoying now because it's to a point where it's just too predictable. Right now we're on 2K25. I promise you in 2 years, everyone's gonna look back at how good 2K25 is. They're gonna do the same thing with 24, and we're already doing it with 23. The cycle continues. It's been going on for how many years now? And I am sick of it. Do you know what a good basketball game is anymore? Yes or no? Take off the nostalgia glasses and realize, hey, these games weren't that good. You're just nostalgic, and you missed the good old days. And that's okay. I got no beef with you for that. Okay, it was a good time. We had fun. I had a fun time on 2K20. I didn't think the game was good, but I was having fun. I didn't mean to rant this much, honestly, but this is so annoying. The 2K cycle is the most annoyingest thing to put up with. The game comes out, it's amazing for the first, a week to a month? Like 3 weeks. And then after a month's time, it's the worst 2K. Then we're all excited for the next 2K to come out. Then that 2K comes out, and then we love it, and then we think it's trash. And then the previous 2K that came out was not considered one of the best 2Ks ever came. It's sickening. It's tiresome. No one, we need help. Y'all need help. But that's just how I feel about it. Tell me anything down below in the comments, and God bless.